Okay, come, we live. All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Shakum Malak Yahushai. That is to say, Yahweh being named Heavenly Father, who the world will call God, and Yahushai being named His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. His brother Kisadia from W5 Jersey, Philly.
Brother Yazara, WI Jersey, Philly.
Brother Yatazama, W5 Jersey, Philly.
Khan, and the title of the video, this is another Watchmen Wednesday. Lord willing, this is what would we say? Because I don't know, I'm weekly, not consecutive, but weekly, a weekly event every Wednesday night, most high willing, anywhere between 10 p.m., 11 p.m., even 12 a.m. However the Lord put it on our spirit, but most high willing, this will be weekly video and live stream, just let you know the things that's happening in the earth. And as we speak right now, if you over in Maine, I know a lot of Israel, we scattered abroad, but I believe that's more, it's not a lot of our people over in Maine, but nevertheless, if you are in Maine and you're not aware, there is a mass thing, a mass event, trying to use the right terms. There's a mass event that's going on. A lot of people getting laid down over in Maine. So most are willing, you keeping watch over this. Now we got some things we're gonna pull up on it, but you got to be circumspect too, man. You can't, when you go into certain grocery stores, certain stores, so on and so forth, the way that America has become, a lot of events is just happening. You out there with your family, and next thing you know, you hear shots going off in a day at Walmart. When the Lord say keep watch, it's not just like we always go into. It's not just watching over the prophecies. It's also watching over your spirit, being circumspect. You understand? You got to be circumspect. I'm actually get this quick precept, right? You got to be circumspect, because like I said, Lord willing, I know again, we got family all over. It's Israel all over, but if you over in Maine, it's going down right now. I believe the numbers is at like 80 people that was laid down, dead, killed. Like 22. No, it was like 80 that was shot, and then there was 22 that's dead. But this Ephesians chapter 5, and I'll start at verse 15. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." So the Lord said you gotta walk circumspectly. I think I was going into it last week. When you're in certain parts of the hood, you're not just just walking all willy-nilly, just there and walking, you're just not paying attention. You might just get robbed. Something might happen to you. So the same thing when you in these Edomite neighborhoods as well. A lot of brothers, they have delivery jobs, different jobs, so on and so forth. You might have to work amongst Esau. These people, as you see, they love the sword. They live by the sword. They're going to die by the sword. And that's happening right now as we speak over in Maine. So you don't want to just be buddy with Esau. That's another reason why the Lord said if you fail hand in hand with them, you're going to be thrust through. It's not just talking about in that day. Look, you shouldn't be around these Edomites at all. These people are unhinged, loose cannons.
Yeah.
Any given second, anything can happen. They could just literally explode. And that's what we're seeing right now. Do brothers want to touch on that? I'll get real quick. I'll probably pull it up unless I got precepts.
I'll try to. I think I might have some. Just go ahead and you can touch on the king.
Calm. I'm gonna pull this. I'm gonna just share the screen. If you got anything, you can bring it up. I'm gonna share the screen so they can see this. Let me see. So yeah, like we was mentioning, and let me know if y'all can see this. Y'all can see the screen?
Yeah, calm.
Okay, calm. So this is what they saying. It's an active shooter right now in Maine. This is what is this? Lewinston, or however you pronounce that. It says restaurant and bowling alley, up to 22 killed, dozens injured. Suspect remains at large. It says citywide shelter in place. No word on his motive. Now this was about 2 hours ago now, but we was tracking this. It's still nothing. Nothing has come out from this. Nothing new. They still. I mean, they got this out here as well, just to try to find this guy. But look, y'all want to be circumspect. He's still. This is a minute ago, from one of our top whistleblowers. It says main shooting suspect is still at large. So yes, you want to, the brothers want to touch on that, y'all can, but we want to be certain. We don't, you don't want to just let Esau just walk up in your house. This man is on the loose right now, and there's a lot of things that's happening. America about to get crazy. We're gonna go into these precepts. You understand? This is not just only in Maine, but it's coming to a city near you. But you got it. Y'all got it.
Yeah, Khan. I just wanted to say, as brother touched on, you got to be more circumspect in the times we live in, because we know as the time waxes shorter and shorter, and we come closer to the end, things are only going to get worse. People are only going to get crazier. The Most High is sending His spirits out here, down here, of judgment. So people are going to continue to get judged, and the Most High, He's sending more spirits upon spirits out here. You can feel the spirit in the air. You can feel these things happening. So that's why, brothers, we have to be circumspect. I'm gonna read. Matter of fact, I'll just stay where I'm at. It's 2nd Ezra 14, and I'm gonna start at 10, and I'm gonna skip down to get to the point. It says, "For the world has lost its youth, and the times begin to wax old." And we know, Ezra, he's writing in the time. What did you say, at camp? Around 2,500 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, come.
Around
So late.
Go ahead.
Yeah, about to say late. 440.
Yeah, around
BC.
440, 450 BC.
Right.
So, Ezra, he's writing in these times, but these are really written for these times. We can see that the world is waxing old. This is the time where the Most High said He was going to visit the earth at the end, and we can see these things happening. It says, "For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of the 10th part." So what? During the time of Ezra, 2,500 years ago, if you have a clock, right, it's divided into 12 parts. What was it, about 1030 when Ezra was living? How much more, like brothers always bring out, how much more are the times waxing old that we're living in right now? This is 2,500 years, right? So, like the brother said, we want to be circumspect because we can see the times waxing old. People are getting worse and worse. It's getting more, just like in the time of Noah. The Lord said, what? Man on earth is just waxing. That's why the Most High had to destroy man. Because why? Because things kept waxing worse and worse. That's the time we're living in. So we have to be circumspect, knowing that the earth is waxing old and man on the earth is waxing more and more wicked. Right? I'm going to skip down, and then I'm going to let the brother go ahead and get it. Is this verse 20? Is this what I want? No, verse 17. No, I'm gonna start at 15 actually. I'll just start at 14. It says, "Let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times." It says, this is the point, verse 16. "For yet greater evils and those which thou hast seen happen will be done hereafter." So what? As times wax worse and worse, we're going to see things continue to get worse and worse. As the times grow old, a man on the earth is going to be more and more wicked. I got. Can I get one more precept, and then I'll let the brother get it? It's Matthew 24. And you go into Matthew 24th chapter is going into what? The end of the world. Yahushua giving the prophecies of what's going to happen again when the times wax old, when his visitation, when his second coming is going to be near. He's giving signs at the end. It says, I'll start at verse 10. This is Matthew 24, verse 10. It says, "And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Verse 11, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, what does that mean? Meaning sin in the earth. Sin in the earth is increasing. You see all the wickedness going on in the earth, all the wars, the bloodshed, the homosexuality, things like that. It says, because iniquity shall abound in what? And the love of many shall wax cold. And we've seen, I don't know, in the last 5 years, let's say 3 years, how many damn mass shootings have we seen? Last 3, 5, especially here in America. So you see, this place is the most wicked place on the earth. That means what? This place is going to have the most wicked acts in these last days. So we have to be aware and circumspect. That's why everybody got a gun nowadays. So anybody can just go off and start shooting. So this is why we have to be aware of what's going on at the end as times begin to wax old. You got it, King.
Calm. Like the brother was going into, man. You know, the Lord is issuing His judgment more and more on the earth. Like, don't take this story, this event happening for face value. Oh, it's just so-called white man going at it again. You know, doing his own thing. That's on one aspect of it. But on a deeper level, we understand it's all of the Lord. So, I'm gonna start at 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which is in their fury, lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of Him that made them. So the Lord, He has, like the brothers are going into, He has His spirit working on the earth where He's issuing out vengeance, man. Issuing out death. Issuing out people being killed on a mass level. This is what we go out and we tell our people every single day, man. Hey, the Lord is coming back for vengeance. He's not coming back to bring peace on the earth or to make everyone hug each other and join hand in hand. He's coming for vengeance. So when we see events like this, we understand, according to prophecy like Matthew 24, Isaiah the 19th chapter, that we're about to the 13th chapter, we understand that the Lord right now, He's showing us that we're in the end of the world. Because like the brother's going into, like it says in Matthew 24, man, that this is only going to get worse, man. The love is going to wax colder and colder as we go on in these end times. Let me get a precept in Isaiah 19. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. So the Lord, as a prophecy, He said He's going to set the Egyptians, which you know will be the so-called Americans. The Americans will be the Egyptians. He's going to set them against each other. They're not going to get along like they used to. Back in the day, man, I'll say 1980s and before, man. You didn't really hear about mass shootings. You didn't hear about a huge amount of serial killers, man. They were kind of a mystery. I forgot his name. They did like a documentary on him. What's his name?
Which one? There's a lot of them.
The one that was, yeah, back in the day, he was kind of fantasized. You know, they made a documentary about him. They had the girls following him.
Oh yeah. You talking about what's this guy's name?
What's his name, man?
What is he?
You said what, brother?
What was he?
Edomite.
Edomite back in the 70s. No, 60s.
Yeah, back in
Hey, what was he known for? Like
serial killer.
You talking about not Dahmer.
Not Dahmer.
Somebody posted that.
Yeah, a brother might have to find him for me. But the point is that it was fantasized. It wasn't a common occurrence. Now you open the news, man, and it's kind of like, oh man, they're at it again, man. It ain't just like the 5th one this month. Ain't this the 3rd mass shooting this year? Like we kind of get in that mindset now because we're understanding that, hey, look, these things that were promised in the scriptures are coming to pass. Like I was saying before, you weren't gonna see this in the 60s. And the damn I don't want to say the booming 20s. I think that's what it was called. But you weren't seeing this in America's prosperous stages. You weren't seeing that. But we understand now that America is coming to the end. So we're seeing the Egyptian, they're fighting against the other Egyptian. Let's continue on that precept. I'm gonna start from the top, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother. And when you look into this dude, what they have on him so far, man, he was a former military, a former drill instructor, I believe, a gun instructor who used to work at the main base, the national main base, and was yelling out that he was threatening the main base before he kind of went off and did this thing, and they didn't really take note of it. But I believe he was the I want to say the instructor for guns.
Salakia, I got it.
Khan, if you can read it for me,
Yeah, I can pull that up for you. I'm gonna share it on the screen. And the guy he was looking for was Charles Manson.
Charles Manson. That was the man.
But I'm gonna share this. You can see it on the screen?
Khan. Yeah, that has most of it. I was looking at Don Luker, but that has most of it too. You mind if I read it out?
Yeah, I can read it. I can read it for you.
Okay.
It says breaking from CBS News, Maine Law Enforcement Bulletin, Maine State Police is attempting to locate Robert Card as a person of interest regarding a mass shooting incident at this bar, as you see that name right there, and grill restaurant in a spare time recreation in Lewiston, Maine, right? It says Card is a trained firearms instructor believed to be in the Army Reserve Station out of Saco, Maine. It says according to law enforcement, Card reportedly recently reported mental health issues, including hearing voices and threats to shoot up the National Guard base in Saco. He was also reported to have been committed to a mental health facility for 2 weeks in the summer of 2023.
Yeah, man, you see that? And like I was going into, man, you weren't going to see a lot of this back in the day. But now you see these spirits are getting more stirred up to cause controversy within America, with their own citizens doing mass murders, committing mass crimes against each other, man. This is all stuff that we see, and we link it up with prophecy, and we understand, hey, look, right now we understand that the times of the end are drawing nigh and nigh, man. It's drawing nearer and nearer, man. Now we get excited when we see this type of stuff. We get excited. Don't take that out of context. But brothers got it.
Calm.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was gonna say real quick, Baba Kashah Israel, if you could please like and share this video, that's gonna help out, with growing this channel some more, and also making sure that Israel's aware of these different events that's happening. So Baba Kashah, please like and share this video at this time. What you got, King?
Kind of, I was going to say, this is what Esau had coming to him. You understand? This place, America, was built in blood, was built on blood. That's what its foundation is in. So all these mass shootings, you don't see mass shootings like this anywhere else in the world. You go to France, you go to Africa, it don't matter where you go. America, they're the lead, they're the head, they're the forerunner when it comes to mass shootings. So I have this article real quick I just pulled up. Let me see. This is the one I want. Salakia. Yeah, this is the one I want. Brothers, see that?
Con, it's on the screen.
Okay, Con. It said, and this goes into also how things are just waxing worse and worse, because as we're going to read, 500 mass shootings and we're only in September for a year is crazy. So this says U.S. surpasses 500 mass shootings in 2023. And this is the chart, right? So going back to 2014 through 19, it was down here. But now up through 2020 to 2023, the thing is skyrocketed. I'm going to read a little bit about it. I don't want to read the whole thing, but you're going to get the picture, right? It says there have now been 501 mass shootings in the U.S. this year. A shooting, driving the news, a shooting that wounded 4 people in Denver, Colorado on Saturday night marked the country's 500 mass shooting in 2023. Now, I didn't even see when this was written. This was back September 17th. What's today's date?
Today is the 25th
of October. So this is a month ago. So ain't no telling where we at right now, right? It says a shooting that wounded 4 people in Denver, Colorado on Saturday night marked the country's 500th mass shooting in 2023, according to the Gun Violence Archive. Hours later, that increased to 501 mass shootings after 1 person died and 5 others were wounded in El Paso, Texas, earlier Sunday. So more than likely, Babylon is probably somewhere close to 550, 560, something like that, right? It says by the numbers, just 5 years ago, the country had never experienced 500 mass shootings in 1 year. Right back in 2018, it was 335. 2019, 414. And then you see this mass jump in 2020. Right? You see that massive jump all the way up to 610. And that's just, again, like the brother was going into, that's the Most High sending those spirits in the earth of judgment. Because we're at the end. People have to start being judged for the things that they've done on the earth. Right? In 2021, 689. 2022, 645. Right, and like I said, Esau, this is what they had coming to them. The Most High, you reap what you sow, and all Esau has sown in this land is what? Is bloodshed, murder, rape, rob, all these different things. This is what has to come back on him. And I had a precept real quick. I'll read it. It's Ezekiel 35. I started verse 1. Yeah, I'll start at verse 1. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Now, I want to read that because Mount Seir, that's going into Esau. So that's the context, right? It says, verse 6. It says, therefore, I'll go to verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood. So what? The Most High said, I prepared this man unto blood. Blood is for sure going to come back on them for what they did to my people. Right? So the Most High has them prepared to blood. It says, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood. And when has Esau been known to hate blood? Going into other countries, rape, robbing, murdering for their natural resources, because they want to put democracy there. They want to put their ideologies and their what's the word I'm looking for? Their ideology. Huh? I said democracy, but their religions, all these different things. When has Esau ever hated blood? Didn't Esau say, the time of my father is at hand, and I'm gonna slay my brother Jacob? Ever since the beginning, this man has had a bloodlust. It says, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And you can see the blood is pursuing Esau. And we read from 2018 all the way up to now, you can see all the mass killings that Esau, this is the Most High, putting this judgment in the earth. All right, so you can go ahead. You got it, King.
Khan, and I forget which brother had mentioned it, but actually I think it was Yazra just now, where America is going to be the chief place for all these different demonic spirits, all these different mass shootings, all these different spirits that's hopping on the so-called citizens of this land, because this place was built on blood. right? And when you read the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, we're going to go into it. It speaks about the Lord saying this is the cage of every foul and unclean and hateful bird, right? We're going to get it. This Revelation chapter 18, and I'll start at verse 1. It says, and after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighting with his glory. Verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. Right, so this place is where demons, demonic forces inhabit. They don't go over to they're not, I mean, there are spirits all over the earth, right? But the Lord is not having the chief spot of all legions of spirits over in damn Greenland, or the chief spot of all legions of spirits over in the Barbados, right? Or any of these other places of the earth. It's chiefly over here in America. And that's really, that's really throughout the scriptures. You understand? There's different spirits and principalities that the Lord has set up over different rulers or ruling empires and kingdoms of the earth. And America right now is sitting on top of all the other kingdoms of the earth right now. So reading on. It says, and has become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit. Right? So there's all types of spirits over here, man. That's why you got to stay in the spirit too, because you got different spirits that's trying to hop on your flesh, right? The lust of the flesh, right? You got thoughts of weed. You got thoughts of pride. All different types of evil demonic forces is over here in America, right? That's why you got to make sure you're praying. The Lord said the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Reading on, it says, and it's become the habitation of devils and of hold of every foul spirit in the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So that's why you got men like this guy, Robert Card, who's over in Maine. He's still out there. Unless brother saw another update, I didn't see anything. I think he's still. Let me see real quick. If I'm not mistaken, this guy is still on the loose. Still on the loose. At 11:58, he's still on the loose. And he went into Walmart's. He's just shooting and killing. This is what Esau likes to do. I got another precept on this, right? Because the Lord said this is that Babylon is the place where every unclean and wicked demonic spirit is going to be. But also he said this in the book of Tobit, right? It's the book of Tobit, chapter 8, and I'll start at verse 2. And as he went, he remembered the words of Raphael and took the ashes of the perfume and put the heart and the liver of the fish thereupon and made a smoke therewith. The smell, the witch smell, when the evil spirit had smelled, he fled into the utmost parts of Egypt, and the angel bound him. Right, so our forefather Tobias, he had to cast out a demon. Now, this angel Raphael pretty much showed Tobias how to cast out the spirit. This is not something that we're doing right now, right? So let's not be simple. We cast out spirits through the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but nevertheless, this is what the angel has showed Tobias to do. Now, once he cast out the spirit, this spirit, it didn't decide to go run into run amongst righteous holy men. This demon decided to go amongst other unclean spirits. And where did he go? He went to Egypt. Why would a spirit want to be rebuked? So as he cast out the spirit, this spirit went to Egypt, because Egypt was a place at the time where other chief unclean spirits were as well in the earth. That's the same thing as the Lord casting out the unclean legion, the unclean spirit in Mark, I believe it's Mark the 5th chapter. And those unclean spirits wanted to go amongst the swine. And then they all got trampled over and all died. But the point of the matter is, unclean wants to be amongst the unclean. And this is why you got reports of over 500 mass shootings. You're not going to see that number anywhere close in any other country. 500 mass shootings over in America in 2023. And we ain't even done yet. You still got November. You still got December. This is madness. That's madness. I was actually just thinking about it until tonight, because this just happened. I mean, this is this literally just happened. Until tonight, the past few weeks, I didn't really hear no talks of a mass shooting. I don't know if brothers kind of peeped that, but it wasn't it wasn't anything going on. Since that war kicked off between Iran, or not Iran, but Israel and Hamas, it hasn't been no mass shooting, no anything like that. So, I mean, we think this guy is an Edomite, but they can say this is a Northern Kingdom brother. They can say anything. They can put any type of new twist on it. So it's definitely something to keep watching.
Hey, Ken, I got something on that real quick.
Come
on. So I was looking through Twitter, and you got this Edomite, he was claiming that he might be a Middle Eastern, So like the brother's going into, man, these false flags are gonna get realer and realer. They might say, look, like the brother said, they might spin to he's now Northern Kingdom from the tribe of Gad, Hey, they might do that. It's off, but we gotta understand how these Edomites work. They don't want to take the blame for anything. I'm about to share my screen real quick.
Come.
Hold up. There we go. So this man on Twitter, he said Lewiston, Maine, 22 dead, 65 plus wounded at 3 locations, possible multiple shooters, 1 possible suspect in custody, conflicting reports if active shooter is white or Middle Eastern. So the point of this matter is that during this event, this man that committed this, he committed during a big event, what we know as the attacks of the Palestinians on Israel, Hamas on Israel. Now, this man, he came and said something that could have wowed up the crowd. He said there's conflicting reports if active shooter is white or Middle Eastern. Like the brother said, hey man, these are false flags that can clearly happen to put the whole world against Israel, the whole world against the so-called blacks, the whole world against the so-called Hispanics. Stuff like that's going to happen, man. You had I don't know if brother seen this, but there was an incident that happened in Philly where you had 2 Asians, they shot at a so-called black man. Now, there was no real story, no backstory. There wasn't someone on the sideline explaining anything, or that person that posted the video that said, oh, this is what really happened. But you had an Edomite that came and said, he posted the video, that's what made it go viral. He said, a reported attack against a so-called black man. It looks like the Asians are getting tired of being targeted by the black people, with no context, no proof, no evidence. Said that the Asians, they retaliated against this man. I'm about to pull it up. I might have to. They retaliated against this man because he was because the black people are targeting the Asians, man. And this is what's going to happen. You're going to have a lot of false flags that are said against Israel, that are said against our people, to try to stir up the spirits against us and make us hated of all men. But let me get this. Let me know if I'm calm.
Calm, you good.
Oh, I might type this up. Well, I can find it.
Calm. But yeah, it's definitely even there's a few other things I want to pull up as well. Because while this war is going on right now, and you might feel like, okay, a lot is not going on, so on and so forth. I was just talking to brothers about it before we hopped on this live. This is the time where anything can really kick off. In the moments where it feels like things aren't happening, in the moments where it feels like Salakia. Until you find the king, I'm gonna come back to that.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
In a moment, if like I was saying, in a moment where it seemed like things aren't kicking off or whatever the case may be, or things reach a stalemate, because the Lord does it a lot of times. He speeds things up, then he slows things down. But the point of the matter is, we understand that all hell is going to break loose, and you can't be desensitized to the fact that there's a lot of news that's going out here. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different so-called propaganda, if you will, agendas. But you got to stay true to understanding that nothing is going to happen unless it's mentioned in the scriptures to happen first. You understand? I'm gonna actually get a quick precept. Then I'm gonna give back to the brother. This is the book of Amos, right? Classic. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. It says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in a city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord had not done it? Surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets." So nothing is going to happen in the earth unless the prophets have spoke about it, right? From Genesis to Revelation, these things will unfold. It may slow down for a second, it may speed up, but the point of the matter is, it's going to happen. Everything we see right now, I'm gonna get one more precept. Everything we see right now was already set up to happen. You understand? These different prophecies that the Most High has set up in the earth, World War III. He's literally bringing all the nations of the earth over to the so-called Middle East, the Fertile Crescent, bringing them at the border so he can kick those fake Jews out the land and bring the real Jews back in the land. He's literally stirring up the minds of all the world leaders, Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin, Sleepy Joe Biden, and the oligarchy that actually rules America, Donald Trump, all these different men of the earth. He's stirring up their minds and getting them ready to go to war. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46 and verse number 10. I'll start at 9. "Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure." So the Lord, and what the Lord said is going to happen, it will happen. There's no prophecy of China ruling the earth for damn 1,000 years, then Yahweh Shai going to come back. There's no prophecy of anything else other than what's in the scriptures is said to happen. It will happen. You understand? Whatever the Lord said is going to happen, it's going to unfold. So you got to keep watch. You can't let your mind drift off and you think that, nothing's really happening right now. That's the moment when all hell is going to break loose and you're going to be caught out there and not know what to do. You got it, brother.
Right, Con, I found it. And I don't want to get the channel flag. I don't know if we can play it.
Yeah, I don't want the brother being up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an active video. An active video of two Asians shooting a black man.
No, that's not black man.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna show what they said. We're gonna show what they said.
You gotta use wisdom with this. They probably just waiting right now. That's why I had to be crafty with the title of the video. They're waiting right now to shut this channel down. They don't want to see the cold cuts resurrected.
Right. So obviously this is a video of two Moabites, or we perceive them to be Moabites, shooting Israel, a man from Judah. Now this man, I'll say woman, Rosa Parks. I don't know what they are, but it's an Edomite. They said no idea. Hold up, we're not gonna watch it. No idea what the backstory is.
Yeah, that's Satan. Let's pause.
Yeah, no idea what the backstory is here. It looks like a few Asians in Philly have had it with being targeted, and that's Esau for you, man. Esau is saying that they see that video. There's no context. There's no explanation to it. It's a random video, and Esau straight goes to saying that so-called black people have been targeting the Asians. Now the Asians are retaliating back. You don't know what these devils are gonna craft up with the media, man, with the things they say to stir up the people. You know, like we said, we saw in that first tweet, he said, I don't know if he's Middle Eastern or white. That was that was a crafty way to try to get the people enraged, man. Because now you're saying, oh, he might be a Middle Eastern man. They're trying to invade us. And I don't know if brothers saw a report, man, but they put out a report that the United States itself, they put out a report that Hamas might try to invade through Mexico. So you don't know what these people, you saw that, King?
Con,
oh, bro, said something.
Yeah, Con.
I'm gonna
try to find something, but you got it.
Con, yeah, you don't know what they're gonna say through this media, so we gotta be aware of these false flags, how they might try to spin it on us, how they might try to put something upon our people that we didn't really do. And man, these things are real. So when we see these events happening, we have to be aware of what is going on in the media, aware of what the agenda that they're spinning. Are they gonna say, well, hold up, this man, he was looking into they can say anything, man. They can say this man was looking into Israelite theologies, the ideologies. He was looking to get down with the program. They could say anything, man. But we gotta look upon these things and be aware, so we're not caught abruptly by it, and we're holding our hands up like, oh, what's going on? We understand these things, they have to come to pass. They have to happen. They have to be said against us, and there has to be a false narrative created against us to stir up let's just say martial law, us being hated of all men, us being brought in front of the chief people in chief places to be put to death, man, to have to be persecuted for the word. But brothers got it.
Slock, you had some, Yazra?
I was I thought you were going to touch on the Hamas and the coming through Mexico through the border.
Yeah, Con, we're trying to find that. Lord willing, I'm still trying to find that. Most I willing. I do.
If you want,
yeah, if you can find that, Baba Kashar.
Con.
Now I was looking on Twitter. I want to share my screen in a second. Was looking on Twitter. Supposedly about 4 minutes ago, the Israeli military carried out a raid inside Gaza using infantry and armed forces. Now, this is not confirmed just yet, but if this goes down the way it's supposed to go down, I'm gonna share my screen. Just a quick little inside scoop on while we waiting for I'm gonna show y'all real quick, Lord willing. Let me know if y'all can see this. Baba Kashar.
We can see it.
Okay, come on. So yeah, this is Joe Trustman. He's a research analyst focused on Palestinian armed groups and non-state actors in the Middle East. So he kind of spent his time, looking and checking on the so-called war. About an hour ago, Israel declared global war on Hamas, which we already know they've been did, so this is not nothing new. But nevertheless, about 5 minutes ago now, like I just mentioned, the Israeli military carried out a raid supposedly inside Gaza. This is big because we know that this is one of the things we was waiting for Israel to try to invade and go into Gaza, which a lot of different countries, specifically Iran, told Israel not to do. So, like I said, it's not confirmed just yet. Lord willing, we'll keep you updated if anything does kick off with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and I do have something else. Did you find that, King, that the article was looking for?
Con. Well, I found the Twitter source. And it was quoted by the Daily Callers News.
Okay, you can share your screen.
Con.
I got an article on it after him. If you want me to, I could bring it out.
Con.
I don't know if you want to read.
Yeah, I can read that. So it says Hamas could be entering the U.S. through Mexico border. Now, this is a big thing because, well, first off, Issachar, this was their land before it was so-called American land, Esau's land. We understand what happened. Them coming over and rape, robbing, and pillaging his land. We understand that. But the point of the matter is, since Trump got in office, there was talks of building this wall, this border wall, so on and so forth, and they was actually getting those things done. Now, once Biden gets in office, he immediately started pulling back that border that Trump had put in office. So now we got a lot of the country in the uproar. You know, they were trying to build this border, so-called Mexicans, Issachar, they're taking over America. They running through, blah, blah, blah. The cartel was coming through. A lot of different things is going on as far as the political scene in this Mexican border, or the Mexico border. But nevertheless, now they're trying to use this as a ploy to say there could be some type of false flag or attack from Hamas to sneak through the Mexico border. So it says, according to an internal memo, federal officials are warning that members of Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and Hezbollah could be entering the U.S. through the southern border. Can you click on that picture right there?
Con, Lord willing.
Con. So it says it says San Diego Field Office Intelligence Division. Now there's a lot going on with San Diego because there's another article I had with San Diego. So I don't know what's going on over there. If you in San Diego, definitely keep watch. It says situational awareness, and if I'm not mistaken, brothers can correct me if I'm wrong. And Israel as well. You know, if you have something on it, but with those 9/11 attacks, I believe they hijacked planes over in that California, San Diego area. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was one of the planes that they actually hijacked back in the day. But continuing on, it says foreign fighters of Israel Hamas conflict may potentially be. I don't know what that says right there. What is that?
What you looking at?
Maybe that red. The red look, yeah. Can you read that?
It says counter.
Con.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I can't even really. Yeah, it says at southwest border, right? So this is a little thing they had put out. Like we mentioned already, you definitely want to keep watch over that situation. Yeah, Azra, you had someone on it too. You on mute, King?
Yeah, kind of slacky. My drink kind of moving kind of slow right now. But no, it's basically saying what you bringing out. Israel got to remember that Hamas, and it's not even. Did you read? Was there Hezbollah in there too?
Yeah, they had mentioned Hezbollah.
Yeah, Hezbollah. They're all friendly. You remember, Brazil is in BRICS. You know, and Iran backs Hezbollah. And who else is in that? Venezuela, they're friendly with they're real friendly with Russia and Iran and China. China's real friendly with Mexico. So, you know, you go into these certain third party, or what do they call these different news that's not mainstream media?
Alternative media.
Alternative media. They'll go down there. You can if you're a journalist and you make your own, news articles and things like that. You call yourself a journalist. You can go down to these borders and see people flowing in to the United States, whether they be immigrants, illegal immigrants, or whether they be from China, whether they be from all these different countries. People are flowing in through that southern border. So the U.S. America don't really know who's coming in. So it wouldn't be surprising if these people were coming in, and a lot of people around the earth, around the world, are scared of these sleeper cells that could be in America, could be in all these different Western countries and NATO and things like that, because these people of the earth are waking up to what NATO and America has been doing.
Con, exactly. Now to we have some more to to get into. This is something else I wanted to share. I'm gonna share my screen in a second. Let me see. Okay, Con, let me know if y'all can see this.
Con, we can see. You might want to make it full though, like all the way full screen. That's better like that.
Con, I'm gonna zoom in a little more. All right, so it says like I mentioned, this is San Diego again. This is the San Diego Union Tribune. It says new wave of anti-Semitic flyers in La Mesa, Eastern San Diego, condemned by Jewish leaders and other groups. Now you see a lot of this news. Why out of nowhere you getting a uptick in anti-Semitic rhetoric and different things that's happening in the earth right now, stemming from this October 7th invasion between Hamas and Israel. At the same time as we're waking up, you have more and more of this, like I said, rhetoric or propaganda that's being pushed out. We let me get this precept, right? And we should know this, but this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, and I'm gonna get verse 1. And like the brothers always go into, precepts, they don't have an expiration date. These precepts are meant to exhort us, keep us in a correct us, right? Keep us in a right state of mind. You understand? These things continue to happen in the earth. More and more war, more and more bloodshed, more and more signs and warnings. That's all stemming from the scripture, so you can stay in a 24/7 state of awareness to keep watch. Any given second, anything could go down. Right? I was at my job. What was this? 2 days ago. I just pulled into the job. I go, clock into work. Few seconds, our manager, she's talking to the whole, to the rest of the drivers, and she's speaking to us, and then the whole building the power goes out. Literally, everything's black in there. It's pitch black. And it's a alert, a damn alarm going off. Now I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I'm thinking, the first thing I'm thinking is, let me check and see if, let me check my phone, to see if anything really, something actually kicked off, or, what's going on right now. Supposedly the power just went out and they needed to bring a backup generator. So the power came back on in like 10 minutes. We all had to go outside, but I'm thinking, look, all hell just broke loose. And I was kind of getting hyped. Now, nothing did happen, but nevertheless, you want to be in that state of, being observative and really keeping watch over what's about to happen next. Right, so I'm gonna get this 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So the Lord said, it's really not, we don't have to let you know what's happening. You understand? You should be, we're going to do it for the sake of Israel. This is a commandment at the same time, to be a watchman, to proclaim what's happening on the earth. But what I mean by we don't have to do it is you should be doing it yourself. You should be keeping watch. You should be, making sure you looking at the different events that's happening in the earth and tying them back to the scriptures and seeing, if these things are accurate from what the Lord is saying is going to happen next in the earth. So something like this, we're seeing a new wave of anti-Semitic flyers is being condemned by Jewish leaders. This should raise a little bit of red flags for you. We're gonna go over it. It says the flyers which were distributed in La Mesa San Carlos, and possibly other areas come as San Diego city officials consider a proposed law that will criminalize distributing such flyers with as long as a year in jail or fines up to $1,000. Now you might be asking, well, what the hell is on these flyers? That's what I was asking. Let's go down. It says San Diego police said last month they were investigating at least 8 incidents where anti-Semitic flyers were distributed in city neighborhoods. Distribution of the flyers hasn't intensified since the Israel-Hamas war began 2 weeks ago, but it has remained steady and strong. Now it's going to go into it. It says her group says the flyers are distributed by Goyim Defense League, an organization Stop Anti-Semitism describes as neo. I don't know if we can even say this word on YouTube, but you see it, right? I'm gonna say it: neo-Nazi and white supremacists, right? It says the local chapter of the ADL, which is the Anti-Defamation League, agrees that the flyers are being distributed by white supremacists who have clear motives. Now, they're not going to show us what the flyers are saying, but I want y'all to see this real quick. See the patterns and see the signs. This is the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, that defends anti-Semitism. It's set up by Amalek, the so-called Jewish man. And they actually have their headquarters, if I'm not mistaken, it's over in Brooklyn, New York. Now, that's really it on this, if I'm not mistaken. But I wanted to pull up something else real quick, and we're going to link this up together. Now, if you go to the ADL.org, it says extremist sects within the Black Hebrew Israelite movements. And this is published August 7th of 2020. But let's see some of the things that they're talking about in here. Right, so it says key points. Black Hebrew Israelites are not same as Black Jews or Jews of color. I'm gonna just go down. Let's really get into it. It says Black Hebrew Israelites are not Jews, and Black Jews are not the same as Black Hebrew Israelites. Black Jews and Jews of color are genuine members of the Jewish faith. Black Hebrew Israelites identify specifically with the biblical Israelites and consider Judaism, Christianity, and Islam to be false religions. It says many BHI teachers claim that Jews and other white people force Black individuals into other religions. And I'm going to jump down because it's kind of what I want. Black Hebrew Israelites believe there are members of the 12 tribes based on biblical interpretation that teaches that their population will spread across the globe, which they tied to transatlantic slave trade. BHI presents slavery, racism, incarceration, and other social ills as divine punishments for disobedience that can only be cured through BHI ideology. And then it has this right here, and they're kind of going against it. But you can check out the rest of the article on your own. And most I will dive a little bit deeper into it. But the point of the matter is, when you come back over here with these flyers that they're saying have been passed out, which is going against these so-called Jewish people, Amalek, we pass out flyers of our own. We teach every weekend, every Shabbat, teaching, we passing out flyers, and they're saying now, if you're passing out these flyers over in San Diego, you can be sent in prison or sent in jail for up to a year and fined up to $1,000. Our flyers, I mean, we literally putting out that we the Hebrew Israelites. We are God's chosen people. It's not ideology or rhetoric or propaganda. This is the truth. We are a part of these 12 tribes of Israel. And they hate that. And we seeing more and more that is pushing closer and closer to all about this and less about the war against Hamas and Iran and these different, it's really all about you. For every brother and sister that's watching this video, the ADL was set up to go against you and stop us from waking up. And everything that's happening right now is all going to turn his attention back to us. But brothers got it.
I'll get in there real quick. And that's true, man. You know, that's why we titled this false flags are incoming. You know, we have to be aware of these things that they're going to say against us. We got to look at the accounts in the scriptures where there were men of the Most High God that were accused of certain things, and they couldn't prove the things that they were accusing them of. These same things, they're going to happen to us. There might be an event that happens, and they might place all the blame on us. They might see these so-called anti-Semitic flyers that might have been made by pro-jihadists or pro-Palestinian people, and they might try to tie us in with it, saying that we're behind all the attacks, saying that we're the ones that we're the ones that motivated Hezbollah, Hamas. They might say all these things, man, and they won't be able to prove it, but they're gonna say these things and they're gonna act on it, man. I'm gonna bring out a quick precept. This is X. I want to start at Salakia.
I got a precept after you, King.
Con. I want X. I'll say. Actually, let me get this first. Let me get Mark 13 or Mark 14. Let me get this. Mark 14. I'm gonna start at verse 55. And the chief priests and all the council sought for witness against Yahushua to put him to death and found none. And that's what's going to happen to us on the mass level, man. They're going to seek counsel to find reasons to imprison us, to sentence us to death by beheading, torture. All these things are coming back on the earth, man. The same things that happened to Yahushua, his servants, they have to go through. We have to understand that a main way they're going to be able to do this and push us out is through so-called false flags, so-called events that don't happen, deceiving the masses of people into thinking that what they're doing is justifiable, man. Like the Lord said, that many are going to seek to kill us, thinking that they're doing an act of service to God, thinking that they're doing what's right in the eyes of the Lord, man. That's going to happen. Let's keep reading. It says, for many bear false witness against him, but their witness agreed not together. And that's going to happen, man. They might have to take certain videos, construe them together, cut and paste. You can clearly see it's edited, like this whole time skip, but they might do that and play it on the big screen. And people, they might be deceived into thinking that's true, man. These things are going to come to pass because the Lord said they have to happen. Let's keep reading. It says, and there also certain, and there arose certain and bear false witness against him, saying, we heard him say, I will destroy this temple that is made with hands, and within 3 days I will build another made without hands. And that was Yahushua. We know carnally or spiritually he wasn't speaking about the temple that was in Jerusalem. He was speaking about his body. But we say even more extreme things, man. If you look into it, man, we say a lot. We say America is going to be destroyed. We say America is going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles. And they were ready to kill Yahushua over that, man. How much more do you think these Edomites are going to be ready to kill us for telling them that Russia is coming to destroy their country with nukes? That all these nations are going to come and make war against America. Hey, these Edomites, they get down with America, man. They like to say they bleed red, white, and blue. They get down with America and they're willing to die on this land for America, for a flag, man. When Jake was kneeling for the flags, man, they were telling Jake, look, if you don't stand up and pledge your allegiance to America, we might have to come and kill you. They were getting down like that. So we got to understand that these Edomites, they're not playing games when it comes to their country. So if all these false flags that come out, they say, look, the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites are against America. They were antagonizing than these Palestinians to go against Israel, to come into our land and overthrow our freedom. And they might get stirred up. And that might be the start of Jacob's trouble. That might be the start of martial law. That might be the start of race wars. We never know, man. But we got to watch for these false flags because, you know, even throughout the scripture, man, these events happen where men against the Lord were lied against. Men for the Lord, they were said to do something or accused of doing something that no one could prove, yet it was acted upon just by the verbal, what's the word I'm looking for? The verbal, I'll say saying that was put upon them. They said he did this, and now they acted on it. There was no proof, but they acted on it. The same account happened with Paul. I'm gonna find that precept real quick. I believe I want Acts. I want 18. I believe I want 18.
Yeah, you got Acts 16 and 20. You got Acts 17, 1 down to 6.
It might be 24. Yeah, I want 24.
19?
No, 24. The chapter 24.
Okay, come.
I want a certain account. Con. This is Acts 24. I'm gonna start with verse 10. Then Paul, after that the governor had beckoned unto him to speak, answered, for as much as I know that thou hast been of many years a judge unto this nation, I do the more cheerfully answer for myself, because that thou mayest understand that there are yet but 12 days since I went up to Jerusalem for to worship. And they neither found me in the temple disputing with any man, neither raising up the people, neither in the synagogues, nor in the city. Neither can they prove the things whereof they now accuse me. And you had certain men that were trying to accuse Paul of stirring up seditions, calling him a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes. I believe his name, what was his name? Tertullus, if I'm pronouncing it right. You know, he tried to put these false accusations against Paul. And Paul said, these men can't even prove the things that they're saying. These things are going to come on a mass event to the Israelites. They're going to say a lot of things against us, create false flags, create false narratives that are going to lead to the imprisonment, the execution, and even torture of many Israelites, man. And we understand this through prophecy. So we got to keep aware of these false flags also. We can't look upon these certain events, even this event right now in Maine. You know, this man, he could kill 60 people, but we don't know if it's a false flag or not. We don't know if there's going to be a tie-in with our people or not. We might go to sleep, and next thing you know, you wake up, and somehow we're tied into this. Somehow we're the cause of this, and now you got tanks rolling up and down the street looking for us, man. So we got to keep watch of these false flags because more and more are going to start coming in. More and more to try to stir up the people and stir up these spirits against the Israelites, man. But that's all I got on that. Brothers got it.
So like I had one quick,
go ahead.
precept. Mm-hmm. All right, this is the book of St. John, chapter 15 and verse I'll start at verse 19, right? Because like the brother was going into, remember that this is anything can be tied in with us. And I was just trying to make that parallel so that Israel can see, you know, 3 days ago, they're speaking about these flyers, these so-called anti-Semitic flyers that you can get I mean, it didn't show what exactly was on the flyer, but it had to be something going against Amalek. And they're saying you got a year penalty of going to prison just for speaking about that or passing around these flyers. Then what do they go? They can say anything about our flyers or us teaching. Is further pushing and implementing them trying to shut down his word. So this is the book of St. John, chapter 15 and verse 19. It says, if you were of the world would love his own. But because you're not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Right? Because the real hate speech is saying that we're not God's chosen people. The real hate speech is saying that we're not the Hebrew Israelites, that we don't have authority to come out and teach the Bible, that we should be locked up and killed for teaching this Bible, and that we're damn terrorists. That's hate speech against us. You understand? We're not of this world. The Lord said, if we were of the world, then the world would love their own. But because you're not of the world hateth you. Paraphrasing. Read it on. It says, remember the word that I said unto you. So the Lord said, be diligent over this thing. It says, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. So they try to hold certain words against Yahweh. He said, if they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. Well, what is our saying? We're coming out saying that we're God's chosen people, that Yahweh is the Most High God, that His Son, His name is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, that He's a so-called black man, and that the Bible prophecy is that America, like the brother was going into, America will be destroyed via the other nations of the world, chiefly Russia. Russia's going to overthrow America. These different nations are going to overthrow America and bomb and burn America with nuclear ballistic missiles. So they're going to keep those things against us. These are considered these are going to be considered espionage acts. You understand? They're going to try to consider us what the hell is the word? What am I thinking of? What is it when you're going against a nation or your own country? Forget that word.
Treason.
Treason. That's what it is. These are so-called treason acts against America. We're so-called U.S. citizens, yet we're against America. Back in the 60s, they would have called you a commie. The whole what is that? The red wave or the red state or whatever it was called. The agenda that was going on by McCarthy. You said what?
The Cold War?
No, not the Cold War. It was something over in America where if you was against America and you was against America going to war with another country, then you were considered a communist. But it's not that important. But the point of the matter is, all of these things is linking up to what Yahweh Shai was. One of the things that the Romans could have held against them was treason. One of the things they're going to try to hold against us is treason. You understand? So you want to continue to associate yourself and remember that we're living in a time of the apostles. We're living in the book of Acts. It's playing out. It's not over in Israel and over in Rome, but now it's over here in America. But you got it, King.
Yeah, Khan. And all these articles, like the brother read, all these things that you read about the black Hebrew Israelites, and we don't even call ourselves that. It's all propaganda to get the people to just like they did with back in the day with, like the brother was going into World War II with the commies and the Japanese, and it's the same thing, but it's going to be on a higher level because they know that what we got is the truth. And that's what it is they're mad that the truth is coming out because Esau, he's against everything that is true. That's why you read in Obadiah, it says, how are the hidden things of Esau searched out? Because Esau, if people find out that we're the people of the Bible, what does that make him? Right? And they're mad that the truth is coming out because even it says, obviously it was about Cain, but we know that Cain, his spirit came back through Esau. Cain was what? A vagabond and a fugitive. A fugitive is what? Running from his judgment, hiding under different aliases, right? So they're mad that the truth is coming out. That's why they want to demonize the truth, demonize the movement that we're doing because we're telling the truth. Right? I got Revelation 12 in verse, I'll start at 14, and it's going to show you the cat's out the bag. Once this truth starts to come out, they can't do nothing about it. If it's of the Most High, you can't fight against it. And they're trying to fight against it, but they can't, and they're mad about it. Right? Verse 14, it says, and to the women were given, and the woman is talking about Israel in this whole chapter. Right? It says, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might flee into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and a half time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as it was a flood after the woman. And what is this water? It's talking about these philosophies, these lies that they cast out to what? To confuse us, to confuse the masses of people to believing that we're just so-called black, African American, to believe that they're who the real people of the Bible. These are the floods that we were carried away with. That's what I'm about to read. It says that he might cause her to be carried away with the flood. Verse 16. It says, "And the earth helped the woman." And what is that talking about? How did the earth help us? Why? Because you got you got history, you got archaeology, you got all these things that point to us being the true people of the Bible. This is how the earth is helping us. It says, "And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth." But meaning what? All these lies, they're going down the drain now. You get like I said, the cat's out the bag. Everybody, we go out every Shabbat and we ask our people, "Do you know who you are?" You got a lot of people that say they know who the Israelites are. I know who I am, right? They might not be doing what they're supposed to be doing, but they know that I'm the tribe of Judah, right? This is what the again. This is the water and the flood being swallowed up by the earth, and what Esau is mad about it. That's why they have to have this propaganda against the truth to demonize the truth, right? Verse 17. This is really the point. It says, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yahushua Hamashiach." And that's exactly what's going on. This is the beginning of them making war with the propaganda. When you go to war, they're doing propaganda right now. The propaganda always comes before war. They got propaganda against Gaza, talking about, against Hamas, talking about their terrorists and this, and that. That's the propaganda that always comes before what? Before the full-on fledged bloodshed of war. So what? They have to have propaganda against us to get the masses of people, just like the brother was talking about. All nations have to hate us. How are they going to do that? Through what? Through propaganda, through false flags. All these things happen before they go to war with the people, and that's what's going on right now. So brother got it.
You had something you tell them about? If not, I just pull something up.
No, you got it.
Con, I want to just to touch on this a little bit more real quick. Then we can go ahead and touch on something else. If brothers have something you want to pull up. But I have can brothers see my screen? Just want to make sure because I can't see myself.
You just want to zoom in a little bit.
Okay, Con, I got you. All right, so Lord, now this is what I was speaking of. It's called the Red Scare. Now, this is a thing that was going on between really, at the end of World War I, but specifically over here by this man, he was Senator Joseph McCarthy. It says, actually, I'm gonna go back up here real quick. So again, when you're speaking against society, the society or the country that you live in, that's considered treason. When you're speaking against them, when you're pro another country, whatever the case may be, they're going to consider that treason. Now, they had a hysteria. It says the Red Scare is a form of public hysteria provoked by fear of the supposed rise of leftist ideologies in a society, especially communism. Historically, Red Scares have led to mass political persecution, scapegoating, and the ousting of those in government positions who have had connections with left wing to the far left ideology. The name is derived from the red flag, a common symbol of communism. Now I'm gonna go into what I want to talk about. So this is Joseph McCarthy. It says the second Red Scare occurred after World War II and is known as McCarthyism after its best known advocate, Senator Joseph McCarthy. So it says McCarthyism coincide with an increase in widespread fear of communist espionage And if you don't know what espionage is, that's where it's supposed that whether it's true or not true, because they don't really care. They can say that if you're aligning with another country, then again, you're not only in treason, but you're a spy. They may just say we Russian spies. They may come out and say that. They may say that the BHI, like they try to put on us, Black Hebrew Israelites, Black Identity Extremists, BIE, they are Russian spies. And they're pro-Russia, they're pro-Iran. They're the ones that stirred up Hamas to come out and go to war with Israel so they can ultimately get them to fight so they can go back to their land. They may say something like that.
I had a point real quick.
Come.
You know, a lot of brothers say, I don't know if we can say it, but DOA, death to, or DPA, or death to,
right? You say it.
Death to Babylon.
Right.
I don't want to get it taken down. I don't want to do that.
No, I got you.
It's wisdom, but
right.
But that's what they screaming that. No, they've been screaming that in Iran longer than we've been screaming that on the highways and byways. They've been screaming that in Russia, so they could just easily just say, "Oh, okay, they're with them." You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and they even, I believe, they say that America is big Satan, and they say that England is little Satan, or vice versa, one of the two. But they, you know, they not only say that, like the brother was just going into, they don't just say that amongst the so-called Arabs in their countries and so on and so forth, but Russia says that as well. So again, they can just, I mean, it's very little just to throw us right in the middle and say that we stirred this up. Because again, this McCarthyism, which we're gonna go into, it was a widespread fear of communist espionage, right? Spies. It says that was a consequence of the increasing tension in the Cold War. Like Itazmak was talking about. The Cold War was right after World War II, where pretty much America and Russia were on the brinks of trying to become the world superpower. And they were fighting against each other pretty much to be the first ones to do this, the first ones to do that, so on and so forth. And it ultimately almost led to them pressing a button in Cuba, right? It's something known as a Cuban Missile Crisis in the 1980s. I think it was 1980s, if I'm not mistaken. But continuing on, it says through the Soviet occupation of Eastern Europe. I don't want to read all of this. I want to get right into it. We don't got all night. But I want to read. Just bear with me. Oh, there we go. There we go. So it says a few of the events during the Red Scare were also due to a power struggle between the director of FBI, J. Edgar Hoover. And if you don't know who this guy is, he was the man that created something known as the COINTELPRO. And Lord willing, brothers and myself will make a video on a COINTELPRO, false brethren unawares, so on and so forth, that is tied in with this man creating it, pretty much, you know, funding and pushing the FBI to have something to quote unquote prevent the rise of a black messiah. He has government programs where there is government programs that is to bring in false brethren into different organizations and things of that nature. Anytime brothers is gathered together to try to sow discord, to hinder the work. Now they were doing it for carnal work, but we doing it for spiritual work. So I don't want to go too much into that, but we'll come back to that. So it says, I'm gonna jump down. It says much evidence for Soviet espionage existed, according to Democratic Senator and historian Daniel, whatever his last name is, with the Vanola project, consisting of overwhelming proof of the activities of Soviet spy networks in America, complete with names, dates, places, and deeds. So during this time, they had so-called research or data that suggested that certain people were a part of this Soviet spy network. And like I said, all of this was actually proven to be fake. right? All of this is proven to actually, that's why it's called the Red Scare. This was just something to get the whole American population to kind of get them galvanized, just in case they had to go to war with Russia during the Cold War, that they could do that. It'd be easy. All these people, they bringing in spies, so on and so forth. Look, the United States, we're under attack. We don't know, anything can happen. Look, these Russian spies are over here. So look, all these people that's aligning, if they're not with America, then they're against America, and they're now considered communist, and they're again Russian spies. So they had a whole database supposedly of names, dates, places of different people that they deemed Russian spies, and they have all our information. Last week we was going into it. The Patriot Act in 2003, it allowed them to be able to pretty much access anything that you have in America. They can go into it if they consider you or speculate you to be a so-called domestic terrorist. So all of these different things, I'm showing you this to show all these things were put in place to eventually bring out what they want to bring out, which is that, we're stirring up some type of evil in America. We're a terrorist. We some type of false flag may happen, or it may happen, whatever the case may be. But you want to keep your eye on all these different things that's going on. It's not about damn Hamas. If you thought this is about Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran, then you're surely mistaken. It's about the Hebrew Israelites, and these different events are going to tie into that, so it can further be pushed that we're so-called terrorists in America. The brothers got it.
I'm gonna jump in there real quick just to touch on what brothers are talking about. Just to touch on it, there was a thing called yellow journalism that was big in starting a lot of uproars, riots, even wars in America. Share my screen real quick. Brother said fulfillment of prophecy. But I have yellow journalism searched up here on Google. It says yellow journalism was a style of newspaper reporting that emphasized sensationalism. We're gonna go into that word. So this means the presentation of stories in a way that is intended to provoke public interest or excitement at the expense of accuracy. And this happened, it happened chiefly in the 1900s and early 1900s, even the later 1800s, that the United States will push out newspaper articles to stir up wars, like the brothers are going into propaganda. It says during its heyday in the late 19th century, it was one of the many factors that helped push the United States and Spain into war in Cuba and the Philippines, leading to the acquisition of overseas territory by the United States. So these Edomites, they're masters with stirring up people's spirits to get them to be on a certain let's say mindset. They're good at stirring up war. They're good at issuing out propaganda to get the people and the masses wild up, man. That's why when you go into these root words, I believe we was talking about this at one camp, the end of one camp. When you go into words like broadcast or what's the other words they use? Programming. These words are actually these root words that deal with brainwashing, that deal with trying to push your spirit into thinking a certain type of way and trying to stir up spirits, man. Hey, we know these men, they're wizards and warlocks, man. They're not just your average Edomite that have no idea what's going on. These men that own these companies, that are pushing out these agendas, that are trying to get things and get things working their way. Hey, they know they know what they're doing, for lack of better terms. They're not your average they're not your average Babylonian that's walking around with mustard on his strip, talking about the damn Eagles or the damn Colts or some other football team, man, or basketball. They're not doing that. These men, they're actually they're hell bent on bringing down the Israelites, man. However way they can, and they push it out. Like I said, through programming, going on television, putting out propaganda such as Black Hebrew Israelites, man. And that word, that word, it got for lack of better terms, I'll say a terroristic intent behind it, man. When you hear Black Hebrew Israelite, you think, man, that's bad. That sounds bad. And we know that, man. That's why they put it against us. And that's what they label us as, the Black Hebrew Israelites. Like we're the enemy or something, man. The villain. The bad guys. And they're good at doing this, man. They did with the so-called I believe they were from Iran, the Iranian bombers. They did with Al Qaeda, with
Al-Qaeda.
The Al Qaeda. They did with, what was the other name for them?
ISIS.
ISIS, that was the name I was looking for. They did with ISIS. They did with a lot of these people to stir up America and the so-called average American to be down with going against these people. You had the so-called American after 9/11. They were walking around. They were ready to die to go die against killing Al Qaeda, the ISIS. Oh, we gotta go get Osama bin Laden. We have to get him. They didn't know what was going on. They only saw what happened on the news, and they were ready to go to war against that, man. And now there's reports coming out, and I believe that we can say it's the truth, man. That America, they did to themselves, man. We're not going to speak too much on it, man. But America, false flags, man. They did the same thing with in World War II with Japan and Pearl Harbor. Now you have reports coming out later that the Americans, they knew about the attack on Japan. That was coming from Japan, and they did nothing against it, nothing to prepare against it, and they let Pearl Harbor and Hawaii get bombed just so they can go to war. These things, they actually happen, and then they use their the television, they use the media, newspaper outlets, these websites to cause, I'll say, mass hysteria and a mass mindset to be against whoever they're going against. So when we see these things, we understand, hey, look, America or the Edomites, they can easily spin this against us, man. Like the brother was going into with the Red Scare, man, during the Cold War, man. They can easily do this stuff. We've seen it. Don't think that that's all done with. Oh, we're in the age of information. Everyone's smarter now. I highly doubt that the so-called or my family and friends, they cannot. They're gonna hate me because of what the Edomites say. Hey, that it's gonna come to pass. We see it throughout history. It's going to happen again. Don't take what the so-called white man could do as just something for granted, or it's nothing, man. Hey, he's gonna like the Lord said. Let me get that precept really quick. Look, they're gonna do things that could deceive the very elect if it was possible. And I'm gonna start with let me go to verse 23. Matthew 24 verse 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And that's going to be talking about Esau on the mass level too, man. They're going to shoot wonders in the sky. They got what they call it.
Project
they call it Operation something. I think it's Project Blue. Yeah, Project Bluebeam. Where they're going to be putting stuff in the sky. You might get a bunch of orbs or lights in the sky running across the sky, and you might have Jake look up that know a little bit about the truth and be like, "Is that Yahweh Shai? Is that the chariots? Are we going to be saved?" They might say that. The Lord said that there's going to be people that are going to be deceiving on a mass level, and if it was possible, they'll be able to see the very elect, man. So don't put don't look at these Edomites out that we don't even know the names, the elites. Don't put them on the same level as your average Edomite that has no idea what's going on. These men, like I said before, they're warlocks, wizards, witches. They know what they're doing. You know, they know what they're doing, so they're going to try their best to deceive the masses, and they're going to try their best to stir spirits against us. And these things that they're done through certain things like we're going into yellow journalism, things like the Red Scare, them going on the television and putting out damn alerts, or even doing a segment. You know, these people, they eat it up, man. Why? Because they're believing whatever they're putting out. But I don't know if bros have anything, but they got it.
Yeah, I had a point on that.
Just
like you was going into, is really this propaganda and the things, the programming that they use through the news and the the TV. It really just goes back to witchcraft and sorcery, and this is this is what they use to sway the minds of the people. I got a precept. This Nahum 3 and verse 1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not." Now, in context, this is talking about Nahum's prophesying against Nineveh, but you can take this and apply this to America because it's the same exact thing. They're doing the same exact thing. And I'm going to read in verse 4. I'm going to skip down to verse 4. It says, "Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts." And you go into witchcraft, what do you need in witchcraft? You need a medium. That's where you get the word, I think I went into this before, that's where you get the word, media from. That's where you get, your TV, your newspaper, your social media. This is how they program the people. That's why when you watch certain things on like YouTube and people going around interviewing different people in America, and they asking them, are you, just basic questions like, who are you for? Are you for Ukraine? And they'll be like, yeah, of course I'm for Ukraine, but they can't even tell you why they're for Ukraine. They can't tell you why they're doing these different things that America has pushed on the TV. Because why? Because their minds have been programmed, and everybody in America, their opinions are really manufactured by the powers that be through the media. Because they're, again, I've brother said it before, that government, the powers that be, call these people sheep. Right? They just follow whatever you push out. Whatever they push out, that's what they're going to go with. And that's a form of witchcraft. You're bewitching the people to believe lies. And that's exactly how America gets these people to think one thing and to totally, just like what's going on in Israel and Hamas. A lot of people, they'll say they're with Israel, but they can't even give you the context of why what's going on in Israel is what's going on. They can't tell you why Hamas did what they did. They just know, oh, I'm with Israel. I'm with the Jewish man, because this is what even I'm sure brothers seen it. It was a little minute ago, maybe it might have been a year ago now, but they had all these different news stations, and they all had the same script, and they lined them up, and they were all saying the same exact thing. I don't know if brothers can find that video real quick. Maybe we can show.
No, I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah.
I can find it.
They're just.
If you got it, you got it.
No, go ahead. If you was about to say something.
No, I meant if you're talking about, if you can find it, you got it.
Oh, okay, but yeah, they're programming everybody to think the same exact thing, and people don't really. People, brother brought this up before. People in America, they wake up, they get their cup of coffee, they watch their news, they go to work, they come home, they watch their 6 o'clock news, they watch their Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy, and they go back to bed and they do the same exact thing. And they think everything that's being pushed on that news They think there is being done in good faith, but it's just like the brother said, leading the sheep to the slaughter. That's exactly what's going on. All these people think that's why everybody in Matthew the 24th chapter, the Lord says, like it's in the days of Noah, they're going to be eating and drinking. That's exactly what's going to happen because these people, they don't actually know what's going on. I don't know if the brother, if he found it.
Khan, I found it.
Okay, Khan. If you want to show that real quick.
Khan.
And this is fair use. We're just using this video to do commentary on it. Brother, want to show that real quick.
Khan. And Salaki, like the brother said, this is under the Fair Use Act.
Khan.
No damn flagging our channel.
Right. There's no sound.
Yeah.
There's no sound?
Yeah, no sound.
Hold up. Let me see if I'm sharing the audio. I wasn't sharing, my bad. Let's try it again.
Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about irresponsible, one-sided news stories
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories that simply aren't true without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
See that? See that? And you might get certain Americans, they'll say that's just a coincidence. They just, something happened. It was just a coincidence. No, you go deep into it. These, if brothers know, BlackRock, Vanguard. You've seen all, that wasn't just one state. That wasn't just one media station. They had ABC, NBC, Fox News on there.
Right.
These are different things to push a certain, and they know they're losing the grip on the people. So they have to get the people are waking up. So they have to get a grip on the people and push these different things out. That's why you got these different fact checkers, like they was talking about. You got they call it fake news now, conspiracy theorists, things like that. It's because they're losing the grip on the people. Their witchcraft isn't working like it used to. But this is really what the point was, is this is all witchcraft coming from these different media sources and things that they got that America pushes out.
Calm. I had a quick precept. This is the book of Acts, chapter 8 and verse 9. It says, Acts 8 and 9, but there was a certain man called Simon who before time in the same city used sorcery and bewitched the people of Samaria, giving out that himself was some great one. So just like this man in the book of Acts, the 8th chapter, Esau does the same thing. He uses sorcery, bewitching our minds, like the brother was going into. the damn TV. You got the damn television is like a big portal.
Yeah.
You watching a show and you find yourself binge watching the damn whole series. That's all set up as distractions to keep our people beguiled to not pay attention to what's actually going on the earth. Right? It's all literally everyone on the earth is looking down at their phones.
Mhm.
Everyone's walking by looking down at their phones. And if they were to stop and look up, they would see a damn missile coming from the sky. That's how it's going to be in that day. So again, like the brother's going into, these different things are different tactics to not only get Israel slacking, not only to get America riled up and to cause some type of civil war attack or civil war and infighting and insurrection and ultimately bring about martial law. All these things are to further continue to push the Black Hebrew Israelites, so-called, are a terrorist group, and like I said earlier, they may say we work for Russia, whatever the case may be, just to set up some type of false flag attack and ultimately get us to be gathered up, sent to concentration camps, sent to prison. Remember, the Lord told us all these things are going to happen. He said it in Revelation, the 2nd chapter. He told us the things that's going to happen on the earth before it happens on the earth. We're the ones that actually have the truth. So what they want to do is deceive our people and keep them to stay in the world and use these different mediums or platforms to keep our people docile and not ever wake up. But the Lord has allowed us to wake up, right? So I got something else I want to show before brothers get back in there. Unless you had something you're talking about. It's more on this though. This is something I don't know if you remember this, but I think this is about a year ago. Let me see. Do you ever remember the Black Hammer group? It's called a Black Hammer party. I'm gonna show it right now. So let me see. I think this is I don't want that one. Yeah, I think this is it. Right. So there's this group. They're a far left activists, so-called, and this is published April 21st, 2023. Now, let's go into it. It says 4 U.S. citizens, including a leader of a far left extremist group who was already facing state charges in Georgia, were charged this week with working on behalf of the Russian government. Now, mind you, this is Jake. This is so-called blacks, the Israelites. You understand? So let's continue on. Meanwhile, in Detroit, a high-profile member of the far-right, what is this? Boogaloo movement pleaded guilty to gun and drug charges in the gamer platform called Discord at the center of a huge leak of classified documents. We take a look at what Discord really is. It's the weak and extremists or extremism. So again, this is his party. I believe they're going to go into it on this article. Actually, it's right here. It says the superseding indictment charges Omele Yeshtele, chairman and founder of the African People's Socialist Party, is going into it some more. It says the 4 U.S. citizens are charged with spreading Russian propaganda at the direction of Russian agents trying to create the appearance of American popular support for Russia's annexation of territories in Ukraine. So this is at the height of really the start of the war for the most part. The war started, I believe, last year in February, but they're saying that this group was created to further push on Russia's propaganda. And again, these are so-called black men, right? And like we was going into a little bit earlier with the Red Scare back in the 50s and 60s, they try to tie this in. They try to tie that in with creating some type of fear-mongering propaganda to get the people roused up to deem if you're going against America, you're considered a communist. You're a Russian spy. And this is coming right back again. This is early this year. So it says, I want to jump down. Okay. It says ASPS is an anti-colonialist, pro-communist organization that argues for reparations for people of African descent for centuries of genocide, oppression, and enslavement of our people. The Black Hammer Group was known for activism for Black separatists, including seeking the return of all indigenous land to non-white people. So I don't want to go into the whole article. You can check it out on your own. But the point of the matter is that this is a big thing. This just kind of went right under the radar. These things, they're not articles and pushed out to the media for no reason. USA Today is not going to publish this in April 21st, 2023. And this is not a thing that the government is actually trying to put some eggs in a basket on. This all these little articles and all these different events is going to tie into the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites, us. You understand? That's really the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. I had one other thing on it, but if brothers want to, hop in there, y'all can. Well, I find this. Okay, Con, I found it. Slakia. Want to make sure I had this. Can brothers see my screen?
Con.
Okay, Con. So this is the US. This is the government.org. It says www.congress.gov. It's the damn US government. This is their website and what they published. Now this is back in 2008, but again, these things are not just gonna go under the rug. It says racist Black Hebrew Israelites becoming more militant. Now you may have seen this before, and that's okay. But and we're not gonna go through the whole thing, but this is files that they've been having on us and trying to stir and create some type of image about our people. You see this, the brother from ISUPK, right? They're talking about Baltimore. This isn't just a phase. It says mobile clusters of up to a dozen extremist Hebrew Israelite street preachers known in the movement as camps, quote unquote, have become a common presence at busy intersections, plazas, and public transportation centers in large American cities, especially in Philadelphia. Right? Philadelphia, New York, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C., as well as Venice, California. It says the camps are often remarkably aggressive and intimidating, railing against quote-unquote white devils and calling for, well, you see that right there. We're not going to say it. And that right there. Now, that's not what it's about. We not out there doing that. We out there teaching our people that we're God's chosen people.
Right.
We're spreading love to our people. It just so happened that as we're spreading love to our people, it's condemning other nations. And the Lord's going to get up with all of these different individuals that you see on the screen. I mean, this is the end of Esau's kingdom, the end of the so-called white man's kingdom, the end of all the other nations and the agendas that they had to keep us at the bottom, and they hate that. So now they want to put us as villains, all the while we're really the so-called good guys, so to speak, if you got ears to hear. Right? We'll be the superheroes. That's the word I was looking for. Superheroes. If this was Avengers, we'll be the damn Avengers. They will be all the villains. We will be the so-called Batman and so-called Superman and so on and so forth. That's even propaganda in themselves to paint themselves as superheroes.
Right.
Yeah, there's no top superhero that's a so-called black man. It's always a white man with the same. It's look just like Caesar Borgia, John Travolta,
Right.
damn, all these different white men, always the same face. Why? Because again, that's another form of propaganda. But yeah, I just found this interesting. I mean, this is the damn Congress.gov. This is the article that they created themselves, and it's going into, what we teach. Even got the damn Quabitas.
Right.
Just
They got the
hovering over.
Quabitas.
Hovering
Wow.
over. Yeah. Couldn't wait to take that picture.
Right. Just creeping.
Wow. But brothers got it though. If y'all got anything y'all bring out, if y'all want to wind down, we could do that too.
Con, I had some different articles, but we could just stick to the topic.
Well, no, if you want to go into something else, we could do that.
It's all right. We could just stick to the title,
Con. Con, do brothers want to bring out anything? If not, we can like I mentioned, we can wind down. Damn, it's almost 2:00. All praise to the Most High.
Yeah,
All right, but let me get another precept. So brothers want to be definitely want to be circumspect with what's going on right now, right? And as we speak too, I was trying to check this out on Twitter. This shooter, he's still out there.
It was about to froze.
Man.
Our brother ran a red light. He's a bunch of police pulling him over. They gunning him down. They got him on the ground. But they got this guy right now who's so-called shot down like at least 80 people.
Right.
And killed 22, supposedly. This is a trending thing. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. But that's all right. If you go on Twitter, this is still trending. It's the number one trending thing on Twitter right now. Yet they didn't find this guy. All right, let me get this precept. This is the book of Acts, Salakia. This is Acts chapter 17, and I'm going to start at verse number 5. Acts 17 and verse 5. It says, but the Jews which believe not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, and gathered a company and set all of the city on an uproar, and assaulted the house of Jason, and sought to bring them out to the people. And when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, these that have turned the world upside down are come hither also. Now, if I'm not mistaken, right, correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole damn world wasn't in an uproar. It was literally Paul was, if I'm not, I believe this is if I'm gonna read verse 1 real quick. It says, now when they had passed through Amphipolis and Apollonia, they came to Thessalonica, where was a synagogue of the Jews. So they were in Thessalonica. Them saying in verse 6 that they turned the whole world upside down, it's even more rhetoric, so to speak. This is a propaganda,
Right.
Just to get all of the Jews at the time to, and even the Romans, to be in an uproar against Paul and the apostles. They can do the same thing. Look at what these men are doing. The whole world right now there is upside down, so to speak. There's war right now. Literally, the world is at World War III because of the propaganda that they're pushing. That's the things that they can say against us. These men are turning the world upside down. Let's read on. It says, these that have turned the world upside down are come hither also, whom Jason had received, and these all do contrary to the decrees of Caesar. Now, if you do contrary to the decree of Caesar, then what is that called? It's considered treason. If we're doing contrary to what America's been pushing, that we're telling our people not to be sodomites. We're telling our men to man up, stop wearing the damn bag that they say is a crossbody bag. It's a damn purse. Brothers out there with a purse on that your grandmother used to wear and your mom used to wear, and you saying it's a crossbody bag. We told a young brother, yo, brother, that's a purse. Said, nah, that's a crossbody. No, brother, it's not a crossbody bag, brother. Just 3 years ago, it was a purse. And now it's a damn crossbody bag. Salaki, reading on. It says, and these all do contrary to the decrees of Caesar. We also tell our people not to smoke weed. Now America has weed legalized in a lot of states. We tell our people not to be, like I said, sodomites. You can't see an American flag without seeing a sodomite flag right next to it, which used to be to show the covenant of the rainbow that the Most High would not destroy this earth again with water, because he just destroyed man that was being wicked. Yet now they prancing that flag around, or took the rainbow, made it a flag, and prancing it around. And again, that's contrary to the decrees of Caesar. Reading on, saying that there is another king, one Yahushua. And no, we're not saying there's another king. We're saying there's only one king, and his name is Yahushua. The king and the ruler, the king of kings. That's going to bring all the nations to go to war with each other, and they're going to try to fight against Yahushua, and then they're going to be destroyed. All in the book of Revelation, the 19th chapter, 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, and the Lord is going to deliver our people. And us teaching that, again, that's considered hate speech. That's terrorism. They're going to ban these Bibles. We know, I don't know if y'all can see it. They're going to try to ban these Bibles, and we talk about it so many times, but you got to continue to keep your mind there. But brothers got it.
Come on, I'm hopping there real quick. For precept, Esther chapter 3 and verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws, therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. And that's what's going to come against us on a mass level as we've been going through this whole live, man. There's going to be men that create false things against us and say that we're not for America. We're against America. We're against the well, I forgot the word they really say, but against the not the profit for America, but we're going against the betterment of America. We're enemies to the state, enemies to the land, enemies to America, to making America great again. Hey, you're gonna have men that come out and say these things against us, come out and create false, like we've been going throughout this whole time. They're gonna tie in certain things of us, like the Black Camera Group, like these events that are going on, even the events that are happening in Israel and with Hamas attacking them. They're gonna say that we support it. They're gonna say that we've been cheering it on. They're gonna say that we inspired them, man. That we inspired Hamas to do those attacks. You know, all these things are gonna come to the forefront to try to get the earth riled up against us, so we can fulfill the prophecy of us being hated of all nations, man. Us being hated of all men, of all men. All these things, they need to come to pass. So we got to understand that even within the scriptures, this isn't the first time it happened. You know, we just read a good account in the book of Esther, where you had the wicked a wicked Edomite stir up a king's anger, or try to get on the king's side to stir up his anger against the children, the Jews, and order the execution of them all, man. And we understand that these things, they continuously happen. There's no new thing underneath the sun. So what we need to be doing now is watching. We've been saying this is Watchmen Wednesday. We said the last live, we're going to say it again. You got to watch to make sure that you're not taking surprise by these things happening. You're not taking. There's no element of surprise with these things happening. You're not surprised when you wake up the next morning and was somehow tied into this, and you're scratching your head and you're saying, "What went wrong? Why is this happening to me? Why did my great grandmother, she gave up my spot where I'm staying at? I was delivered up by my own family. You know, we gotta understand that these things are gonna come to pass and they have to happen. We quite literally have to be hated of all men. It's according to scripture. And we understand that we're gonna be hated of all men, and, you know, chiefly for things that they can't prove against us, which are these false flags. So everyone, Israel, just has to keep in mind when they see these things, it happened before in the scripture, just keep watching it. Make sure if you see it happening, make sure you're watching it and you're not taking surprise when these things are tied in with us. And the brothers, they brought some good points, man. You know, the Black Hammer part, that was a good point. You know, those things, they're not just here for no reason. They're going to somehow be tied in against us. They have a report. It's like a damn RICO case. They're just building it up right now. They're continuously building up a report against us. They take the cutting streams of our lives, of our videos, you know, the copy and pasting. They're saying that we did this, we did that. They're taking pictures of us with Edomites bowing at our feet. You know, they're taking pictures of our flyers, and they're making a collage, a report, a documented report that they're more than likely going to put out to the public to try to get people against us, our own people, and the masses, man. So we have to understand that this is all prophecy. So what we have to realize is that there are more false flags that are going to be incoming. But brothers got it, they got it.
So we can bring out our closing precepts, most are willing. Brothers don't bring out their closing precepts. But yeah, I will say this, because like the brother said, that was a great way to sum it all up. It is like a RICO report, RICO case, right? It's little things, and they probably got us on a just bulletin board somewhere in a dark room somewhere, and they got all the camps, and they, you know, at the top they may have a image of Yahushua, right? And they say, look, these men, they all work for this guy, and this guy, look, and they try to tie in all these different things, and at the end of the day, it's going to come a time where the power may go out. They're going to kick through the doors. They're going to grab you up. And if you say that you believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, then you're going to be sent to a concentration camp or a prison. They got prisons set up for, they got not just regular jails and so on and so forth. They actually have prisons set up for so-called terrorists. Guantanamo Bay. There's other of the worst. I mean, you can look it up. There's some of the craziest prisons that set up. What do you think they're going to send you at? They're not going to send you somewhere with the regular so-called inmates.
Right.
It's going to be, you know, it's going to be hell for us. Because the Lord, if you go through it, and if you survive, then the Lord is going to allow you to have a crown placed upon your head. You were found worthy to bear Yahweh Shai's name, Yahweh Shem Yahshua's name, and to endure, and to suffer persecution, and to be brought to everlasting life. I got one precept, right? This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. And I'm gonna start at verse 76. It says, no, I start at verse 70. Damn. One of my favorite chapters. No, obviously. This 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and I start at 69. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Right. So that insurrection is what? That insurrection is is so-called martial law. We go into the word insurrection as an uproar. It's talking about anarchy, chaos, so on and so forth. That's what our Lord said in the next verse. verse 71, they shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Because they want you to fear Esau. Esau wants you to fear the so-called white man. He wants us to bow down and worship him. He hates, like the brother was just talking about, he hates seeing pictures of the so-called white man or any other nation bowing down and kissing our feet. He hates that. He's figuring out ways right now to overthrow us. But if it be the Most High, you can't overthrow it. That's why they can't shut this live down. You know, unless the Lord wanted them to do that, then it's not going to happen. Let's read on. It says, verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. And we know that's, I'm going to get a quick precept. That's even speaking of in the book of Ezra, the 7th chapter. The Lord said that that's going to take place in those days, that they're going to snatch you up out of your house, grab you up, and bring you to prison. This is the book of Ezra, chapter 7 and verse number 26. And whosoever would not do the law of thy God and the law of the king, let judgment be executed speedily upon him, whether it be unto death or to banishment or to confiscation of goods or to imprisonment. So this was done for those that wasn't serving how he wasn't believing in the Most High, but in a time to come is going to be upon all those that do believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Esau is going to try to use these same things against us. They're going to confiscate your goods, take the things that you own, so on and so forth. They're going to ban it. They may send you away exile, like they did to John, Saint John of Divine, or they're going to send you into prison. Back to 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse number 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So the Lord said, if you go through all of that, then it's going to be known who actually was a servant of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So Most High willing, we know that these false flags is coming. We know that it's going to be something to galvanize the American people against us. They've been dropping these little seeds, so on and so forth. But soon is going to come a time where they're actually going to be given that charge to go and get us out of every city and every house that we live in. You got it, King.
Khan. Before I bring out my closing precept, please, Israel brothers and sisters, if you're in this chat, if you're in this video, please give this thing a like. We're not asking for no money, you understand, but a like will definitely help this channel out and get this video out to brothers and sisters that actually need to see it, right? And Lord willing, we'll seal the elect, right? But this is Revelation 16 and verse 13. It says, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. Verse 14, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the ends of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty. So that's the time that we're living in. Now we don't want to be, presumptuous and say that, because the Most High, he can have things speed up, he can have things slow down, and there's been plenty of times where brothers have in the past prophesied that and said that it was the time that this is it. So we don't want to act presumptuously, but we call a spade and say this is what it's looking like, right? The Most High is gathering the nations in the same region where he said that battle Armageddon is going to be at, where World War III is going to be at, and this is the time we're living in. So what did he say? He said, verse 15, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. So what? The Most High said, blessed is he that watcheth. So you got to keep watch, or what? You're going to get caught with your pants down. That's basically what he's trying to say. If you're not watching, then you're going to get caught with your pants. You're not going to know what's happening in the earth. you're not gonna know what time we're telling you what time we live in. The scripture is telling you what time we in, right? So you want to make sure you're watching, or the Most High said you're gonna get caught with your pants down, and then that day, it's no helping you, right? So brothers and sisters, continue to keep watch.
Con. I'll get my closing precept. It's simple. Mark chapter 13, and I'm gonna start at verse. Well, let's see what I wanted. Verse 23. But take ye heed, behold, I foretold you all things. And it's as simple as that, man. The Lord, he foretold us everything. The only reason we was able to do this live through the Spirit and warn our people that more false flags are coming, that all hell is going to continue to break loose, that the times are only going to get more evil and evil, is because the Lord, he foretold us all this to happen. We didn't just come up with our own crazy analogy. We were sitting in a room somewhere, trying to do damn math. Or I think this is going to happen. I think this is going to come next. No, we only know this because the Lord, he foretold us all these things. We only know it because the Lord, he revealed us the secret that was hidden from the earth and from the world, and was given unto his saints, man, his servants. So we understand that all these things are going to come to pass. Like the brother just said, we have to watch. These things were foretold was foretold from the beginning of times, man, and was revealed unto us. That way, we, like the brother just said, that we don't get caught with our pants down when the time comes, and that we can watch and Lord willing, not be taken out like a thief in the night, man. But that's it.
So most are willing, Lord willing, you definitely keep and watch. Continue to watch what's happening with Israel, the so-called Israelis, what's happening with Iran. Lord willing, as more and more events continue to occur, we'll continue to update Israel and let you guys know what's kicking off in the earth. But until then, this brother Kasadia from W5 Jersey, Philly. Of course, we give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Mashak Malak Yoshai. Your brother's got it.
Khan, the brother Yazra, all praise to the Most High.
Khan, the brother Yatazamak.
Khan. And with that, Kwame Asherala, Lord willing, I'll continue to keep watch. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.